Hello friends, this is Jennifer Terri. I make Philippine Travel Updates po. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to stay updated sa mga rules when it comes to Philippine travel. Now, in this video, I'll just clarify what we've already talked about in our live this afternoon and other things about tourist, immigration, other stuff. Okay, let's go with the IATF Resolution 142. So you guys should have seen the last live video that we had in which a shortened quarantine is in effect, guys. Shortened na yung quarantine for the fully vaccinated and unvaccinated. Yes, even if you're not vaccinated, you also get a shorter quarantine compared to the 10 days. Okay? So what am I talking about? Before we go into that, I just want to be clear that this new protocol doesn't apply to travelers coming from red countries. So if you're coming from red country like today, this time, October 1 to 15, Bermuda, you cannot avail the shorter quarantine. Okay, guys, so let's go without further ado. If you're fully vaccinated, you get tested on the 5th day. Once the result is ready, you can go out. In Filipino, kung fully vaccinated po kayo at uuwi kayo, sa ikalimang araw po yung swab testing ninyo at pag lumabas na yung result, negative, aalis na po kayo ng quarantine hotel. Tapos na po. The recommendation of the IATF is that you finish your quarantine at home until 10th day. So let's say you leave the hotel on 6th day, you need to quarantine for 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 more days at home. So this one is not really strict, guys. Some LGUs will acknowledge your full vaccinations and will no longer require you for a double quarantine. So it really depends on your LGU. Kung hindi siya strict, more likely hindi na siya natutupad. Pero meron talagang LGUs na strict. So just check with your LGU. Okay, next is if you're unvaccinated or partially vaccinated. Kung hindi po kumpletong bakuna or kung wala talagang bakuna, yung testing nyo ay sa 7th day, pero kapag lumabas na yung result, pwede na din kayong lumabas. So, hindi kagaya before that you have to wait until 10th day. For now, as long as the result is out and it's negative, you can go home. The recommendation of IATF is that you finish your quarantine until the 14th day. So let's say, lumabas ka ng 8th day, IATF recommends that you do home quarantine for 7 days, another 7 days. But again, guys, it really depends sa LGU. Kung ano yung rules nila, kung gusto pa nilang i-finish mo or hindi na. Depende sa LGU. Now, for foreign nationals, including non OFWs in Balikbayans, it is very important that you guys book in advance for your quarantine hotel. Why? Bakit hindi sa airport na lang ako mag-book? Kasi po, hahanapin po ng airline. Your airline will check your reservation for the quarantine hotel. So, you really need it. Especially for foreign nationals, if you don't have rebooked quarantine hotel, immigration could also turn you away and send you back to the country where you came from. Pretty harsh, yeah? For the fully vaccinated non-OFWs for nationals in Balikbayans, you need to show pre-book accommodation of at least 6 days. And then for the unvaccinated, you need to show 8 days. So how many days? It's confusing because when you book it, you actually have to book nights. So to make it clear, quarantine days, mga nasa 5 to 6 days kung fully vaccinated. If unvaccinated or partial lang, 8 days. So how many nights? How many nights in the hotel do you need to book? So for fully vaccinated, 5 nights. For unvaccinated or partially vaccinated, 7 nights. Okay? Now, I'd like to answer this question because this is a good question. This was from the last video from Ping. I wonder how long the wait for the result of the 5th day swab so I can confirm my date for my plane ticket to my final destination. Good question, Ping. So, for landing elsewhere and kailangan pang sumakay ng domestic flight, you need to get a domestic flight para makauwi sa final destination. I would suggest, because booking on the 5th day, I think it's risky because results always, most of the time, they take at least mga 12 hours or 24 hours. So as for me, if you're asking me for an advice, I would say book your domestic flight on the 6th day. in the afternoon. Okay? 6-day po. Mas better mag-book ka na 6-day for your domestic flight. Next is from Dolores. Hello, Jen. If you book a hotel, kailangan pa pay agad. How to avail government facilities quarantine? Senior visiting visa. Yes, you need to book in advance, but you don't need to pay in advance. Some hotels po will accept pay at the hotel option. Other hotels will ask for deposit, while other hotels then will really ask for you to pay full in advance. So, it depends po sa rules ng hotel. But it's not necessarily needed na mag-pay in advance. Depende sa hotel. Kung ayaw mo, if you don't want to pay in advance, then choose a hotel that has a pay at the hotel option. Or at least cancelable. Next is how to avail government facilities. It's only for OFWs. However, if naghihirap po kayo, wala kayong pambayad, pwedeng sa pagdating arrival at the airport, makiusap sa DOT. Again guys, I cannot vouch for that. Depende kung bibigyan nila. Next is from April. Hi Jennifer, I called Paul just now. Said they don't have update yet. Still implementing 10 days quarantine. I have a flight on the 14th, so I guess it'll be okay. Thanks for the update. Yes, good thing April Rose. That's normal in the Philippines, guys. It takes time. So, PAL will need to wait for the memo. Yung mga hotel, maghihintay pa ng memo. So, it really takes time. But I'm sure by tomorrow, PAL would know. They would release their announcement about the new protocol. So, April Rose inquired today. So, go back. Call them again tomorrow. I think they would know by then. Because it's all over the news. Confirm na po itong shorter quarantine. Confirm na confirm. At effective October 8 pa yun, effective today. Kasalanan din ng IATF. Why? They could have told us as last week, right? So that everyone could have been prepared. But no. Effectivity date today, okay, they announced today. Bakit naman ganun? IATF, you should have announced last week. Everybody could have been prepared. Hotels, travelers, airlines. Anyways, what proof? So you need proof to be to show that you're fully vaccinated. You cannot just use your word. So you need proof. So for OFWs po and your dependents traveling with you, sa mga OFW at mga kamag-anak nyo po, I'm saying dependents nyo po na kasama nyong umuwi, kailangan nyo pong kumuha ng Polo Vaccine Pass. While for those vaccinated in the Philippines, sa Pilipinas po kayo na bakunahan, you can either pwede yung VaxCert PH or yung BOQ yellow card or WHO yellow card. So, kahit ano dito. So, yung VaxCert PH po, you can use it if you've been vaccinated sa NCR, Cebu, Calabarzon, Central Luzon, Cebu. I know those areas or regions are already using VaxCert PH. But if you're vaccinated outside those areas, hindi sa mga lugar na nabanggit ko. Now, there's also a change for fully vaccinated who are close contacts of COVID-19 cases confirmed or probable. They can also avail a shorter quarantine. While unvaccinated still have to undergo 14 days quarantine. This is about close contact protocol, ha? So, with the shortened quarantine, the Department of Tourism is happy, of course. According to Secretary Puyat, encouraging development for the country's tourism sector. And this move to shorten the quarantine period will be a relief to our kababayans. Isn't it, guys? Are you happy na nabawasan yung quarantine? Are you happy that the quarantine days have been reduced? If you're happy, like the video. Charot! I think we should appreciate it, guys. At least, diba? Less expenses and more time spent with your family. Each day counts. I understand that, guys. If you have limited time na umuwi sa Pilipinas, even 1 day, 2 days, it's a huge thing. That's why we appreciate this shortened quarantine. Also, Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship, Joey Concepcion, is happy. He's one of those people, guys, that have been fighting for a shorter quarantine. So, thank you, sir. He said, this is great. This is a great Christmas gift for Filipino families. Indeed, talaga naman. We have lost so much lives. Now our Balikbayans can spend time with their families and they can celebrate together with extra money to spend from the hotel quarantine savings. Now, other news pala when it comes to tourism, domestic tourism po, good news is that below 18, mga bata. Kasi mga bata, they're unvaccinated, right? Philippines is just starting pilot testing only of vaccinating children. So they're not really doing it for the whole Philippines pa. Pilot testing pa. So children, so people under 18 or senior citizens po over 65 or people with comorbidities and pregnant women, as long as they're fully vaccinated, they can travel for leisure. Pwede na magbakasyon point to point as long as pupunta sila sa areas where it is GCQ or MGCQ. Yay! You can bring your children with you to travel, okay, for domestic tourism. So you can go anywhere except these areas because these areas are on MECQ. So you guys can go to Siargao, you guys can go to Palawan, you can go to Cebu, you can go to Baguio because those areas are GCQ na. So guys, check nyo lang ang requirements ng LGU. Good news naman, Negros Occidental will accept fully vaccinated travelers. Domestic travel to guys ha, and Coron, Palawan. If you want to visit Coron, Palawan, they will also be accepting fully vaccinated tourists. Point-to-point bubble tourism policy. Yeah. So I'll see you guys tomorrow in another update. Stay safe. Don't forget to like and share this video to anyone who wants to travel or interested to know the travel updates in the Philippines. Stay safe and God bless you. Bye.